Chanhassen has had the attention of some pretty high-profile people. After all, Prince made his home, Paisley Park, there. And now, Money Magazine has named Chanhassen as the #1 place to live in the U.S. for 2021. This is the 5th time that Chanhassen has ranked in the top 10. Hi, I'm Mary Schumann. I'm a realtor in the Twin Cities, and I make videos to help people make decisions about where they want to live. I help a lot of people that are moving to the Twin Cities, and they have a lot of questions. So if that person is you, consider subscribing to my channel because this is exactly the kind of content that I put out. I also have some free downloads in the description box below this video that you're welcome to. Or if you have questions, you can simply reach out and I am very happy to help you. It's a great town, but I am wondering a little bit if one of the editors happens to live there. Chanhassen brings home the bling with a bunch of other Best of awards from many different sources too, and it is part of the Tree City USA program dedicated to maintaining its tree canopy. Trees make life pleasant. Okay, so Chan, as the locals call it, sits slightly south and west of the city. It is about a 20-minute drive to the MSP airport, 25 minutes to downtown Minneapolis, and 35 minutes to get to the other side of the river and into St. Paul. If you don't have a car or don't want to drive, I was actually pretty surprised at how easy it can be to get around. There are 2 easily accessible, clean, and newer transit stations, which are like park and rides. You can catch an express bus to downtown Minneapolis with limited stops along the way for work, or if you want to attend a Vikings or a Twins game. And possibly even better, for senior citizens and others that may not be able to drive but still live independently, they also offer a service called Prime, which allows book-ahead trips to the grocery store, the doctor's office, etc. And they only charge $2 for this. So if this is something you're curious about because cars are not an option for you and you're thinking of Chanhassen, check out their website. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the bottom of the screen here. So how much does it cost to live there? Well, Chanhassen is definitely not the least expensive place to live in the Twin Cities. I mean, Prince. But it's also not out of reach for regular people. Chanhassen has a median home price, this is all types of homes, of $505,000, which is consistently ahead of the Twin Cities 7-county metro median over the course of time. Homes in Chanhassen are priced from the low 200s for townhomes up to close to $2 million for the large custom homes in the area. The highest priced home on the market at the moment in Chanhassen is about 7,500 square feet, sits on 2.5 acres, and has lake access. Is this an outlier? Not really. There are actually quite a few of these homes of the similar caliber available on the market in Chanhassen right now. The median household income in Chanhassen is around $125,000. In this video, I'm going to show you clips of neighborhoods, and they're all at different price points, so you can see homes that are available from the lowest to near the highest. The one thing that I will mention, because you don't see a heck of a lot of it closer into the city, is that in Chanhassen, you can actually get a new construction home. So if you do not want a pre-owned home and want to call the shots from picking the model to selecting the finishes, there are some options here. However, you're gonna pay for that privilege because they are on the higher end of homes to begin with, but you can get in on the ground floor with a brand new home here. I drove through one of the new developments while I was out in Chanhassen to see what things are looking like, and they look big and custom. The homes in this area are in the mid to higher end for the budget on Chanhassen, which start at the mid 700s and go up. Why do people want to live in Chanhassen? Well, let's start with schools. all of which receive an A grade according to niche.com. And as always, what works for one kid may not work for yours. So schools here encourage and welcome you to visit so that you can determine if that school will work for you and your child. People who have school-aged children will send them to one of two school districts, either Eastern Carver County Schools, which is 72% of the students that are living in Chanhassen. It's made up of 8 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, 3 high schools, including Chaska High, Chanhassen High, and an integrated arts academy. Chanhassen High has a great debate team and excels at sports. Alternatively, about 28% of public school kids attend the Minnetonka schools. That's 6 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and Minnetonka High. The article on Money specifically talked about Minnetonka schools being a leader when it comes to languages, coding, and tracks for students interested in health, sciences, or the trades. If you work for General Mills or the corporate headquarters of Lifetime Fitness, you may actually find Chanhassen to be a really convenient place to live because both have locations out there. These homes are somewhere in the 400,000s, mid to upper possibly, but it does prove that you do not have to be Prince to live in Chanhassen. There. Okay, you know that parks are one of my favorite things to talk about, and one of the things that makes Chanhassen a great place to live are, of course, the parks. I started getting excited about their parks when I was out looking at the shopping options and then found myself in Lake Anne. It's really lovely, and I can picture lots of time spent on the little beach out there or on the water in a kayak or a canoe. Chanhassen does a survey of residents to see how they're doing with the park district, and 94% of respondents ranked the park system as good or excellent. Chanhassen has 44 parks, including 4 large community parks like Lake Anne, and there are 23 neighborhood parks that offer green space to the nearby residents. The park district set a standard that all residents should be within walking distance of a neighborhood park, and they identify this as less than 1/2 mile from a park. They have 800 acres of preserve land, a large off-leash dog park with trails and a pond, and 3 lake beaches available for residents to enjoy. Chanhassen also has a rec center. You can get a punch card for visits. Currently, the prices are $3.50 per visit for non-residents and $3 per visit for residents. The rec center has an open gym for kids and also one for adults. When you live in Minnesota, you need a place to go to burn off the energy in winter. And while most people do like outdoor sports here, having options that are inside is never a bad thing. These new construction homes in Chanhassen are about $1 million. So this is another option for new construction. These are custom homes, obviously. How do people entertain themselves there? Well, if you are a fan of dinner theater, the Chanhassen Dinner Theater will make you one happy camper. There is a lot of theater in both Minneapolis and St. Paul, but people actually migrate the other way out to the suburbs to enjoy an evening at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. And if you're interested in seeing Prince's home, Paisley Park, it is now a museum. You don't get to see the living quarters, but there are tours of the studios and other parts of the building. Money Magazine calls Chanhassen's downtown walkable, and I think they're stretching this a bit. I suppose you can walk between the stores in the shopping center, but this is not what I would call a really walkable city with like a small like downtown core. There are a lot of stores and restaurants that I would drive to if I lived in Chanhassen, but you won't have to go far to restock the pantry or have a dinner out with the family. And if you're looking for something that Chanhassen doesn't have available, you are likely to find that right next door in Eden Prairie. I've done a video on Eden Prairie, so if you're interested in learning more about that community, I will link that above. For groceries, you'll have lots of access to. You have Lunds & Byerly's, Target, of course. This is Minnesota. We are home to the Target Corporation, Aldi, Cub, Lake Winds Natural Food Co-op, and if you need massive quantities of anything at all, Costco is, again, just a short drive away in Eden Prairie. So we don't have a walkable downtown, but if you do want to walk, I suggest you take yourself to the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum in Chanhassen instead. It is absolutely gorgeous, open year-round, and they often have special events and displays. And I think this is a great option if you have children with you that want to run and burn off energy. I've had fun with kids there in the maze, and they also have this amazing like stick sculpture that looks like a witch's hat or a house or something. And kids like to play in that and just let their imaginations run wild. There is a cafe on site, which is great because you can easily spend hours at the Arboretum. Since I'm recording this in autumn, I will also mention the nearby Apple Barn, which is run by the University of Minnesota. The university breeds many different apple varieties, including Honeycrisp or the Sweet Tango apple, and they have a large building where they sell the crop. So some of these are not even named yet, they just have numbers. You can be the cutting edge in apple tasting. It's a niche. Senior citizens. Chanhassen has a very active senior center right by the library and town hall with all kinds of regular games, a choir, woodcarvers group, and they also offer help with Medicare, Meals on Wheels, and caregiver support. So it's right across from the library, and the library itself is large, modern, and beautiful. It's a part of the Carver County library system, and I think it maybe is the largest library in that system. All right, last but not least, the usual questions. Chickens, yes, you can have them, and fences, also yes, you can have them. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a great week. Please reach out and touch base with me if you have questions on Chanhassen or any other community in the Twin Cities area.